Hello, Seth. I will start the review now. Let's go quickly through it. It looks like you are playing Leona Jhin into Nautilus Aphelios, and the jungle matchup is Mundo. So first of all, we see end of review mistake very early in this game. It appears right here. Yeah, there you see it. Having chat on and typing with chat. Of course, it's up to you if you want to do that, but to me, this is already under review. No really need to do that. All it does is distract from the game at best, and at worst gives people a way to tilt and distract you, and gives you more tools to exercise your tilt and distractions upon your team. League of Legends is not really a game where you can chat within the game. It's a game that requires constant focus. So yeah, I'm very against chat. I'll move on from that point now. And you see here, you are walking in a way where if the enemy is already in this bush and walking up to contest you, you are showing in vision, partially because you're chatting instead of going via this bush on the bottom. Oh, I suppose you can't see my mouse, but yes, there's a brush on the bottom. You can go via that to hide your intention. Of course, it will make you slightly slower. Seems like you're doing a level 1. I'm a little bit suspicious of doing this level 1 because you're playing Leona, who is quite weak level 1, and you're playing against Nautilus, who is quite strong level 1. However, I suppose Jhin is stronger than Aphelios, but to me, I'm not super sure if this makes sense to me. But then again, you are much better than me at support matchups. So, and you're choosing to do this, so it might be a limit test, might be something you're trying out, not sure exactly why, but you could have many good reasons for doing this. So he walks in here and you get rewarded for doing this, instantly using Ignite here, and you secure first blood, so this is great. I would say this is a very good result, and it's not a very high risk, so it's overall good, but I think you shouldn't expect stronger players to die here, and it might. I've seen these kind of brush level 1s. If the enemy plays around it, it can actually cause you some risk. So that's something to be aware of. Right, getting a good chunk on this guy as well. Okay, here you're pushing the wave, and this does not really make any sense to me. Why are we pushing the wave here? You wanna dive him, or? Yeah, because if you're pushing the wave, it's gonna be like really awkwardly placed here. So this makes no sense to me. Here they have a slow push, right? Because the wave is even and it's on their side. And don't you really want? I'm not fully clear on what's your intention here. Do you want to base here, or do you want to farm? I would think it's maybe too early to base. You still have a potion and a half left. Your Jhin is full health. Of course, you want to spend the gold that he got from the kill, but maybe you want to farm a little bit first. So for me here, my plan would be zone this guy and let the wave pull out, because now Aphelios is very low, and if you can just let this wave push out a bit, you will be in a much better position to all in him. So there's not really a need to push this. You seem to want to push here, and that of course will make it much easier for Aphelios to farm. And you're not really able to zone him, of course, here, because he is under tower and you don't have E or like not really any threat. All right, nice ward. So I want to see if you drink, because if you want to stay and fight here, I would drink my potion now. But if you want to recall, okay. Nautilus is going a little bit crazy here. He is kind of capitalizing on his earlier mistake by giving you a very good trade here. Okay, again now. Okay, you're pinging assist. What do you want to do? What does this assist ping mean? You seem to be pinging the wave, So it might indicate push. It might also indicate you want to go in. Not super clear, but if I'm here, of course I want to just flash and kill this guy, right? So let's see how you play it. Okay, you're kind of standing far back to bait them in, get the stun. He kind of hooks back in instead of hooking out. Gets kind of messy. You end up getting the kill on Aphelios. You want to push this to get the crash cleaner, makes sense. I'm scared of jungle now. You do have that one ward though. Oh, if he walks up, if you W like this and he walks up, you can get aggro and then he can root you. So that gives him the possibility to trade. Just something to be aware of. Maybe that's hard for him to pull off here, but just something to be aware of. That you need to be a bit careful with your W under turret. Here you need to ping this Jhin off, I think. Okay, he gets the ignite. That's nice, but this is definitely it's lining up very well for you. I think it was just a little bit here where you can be a little bit more clear about your intention here. The idea is push this, hit turret once, and then recall, right? So just be a little bit clearer that that's what you're trying to do in advance. So he is kind of on the same page. But this looks overall very good. Okay, get the recall. Brown boots, nice. And you're buying a potion. Yeah, really good. Here you have 107 gold on your quest, so it might be a bit early to switch to sweeper. So that's totally fine to keep the yellow wards. And you could not afford a control ward, so there's not really anything you could do better in that spot. You played it perfectly. Okay, we're in the lull state right now. Typing, I would be looking at tab here. I want to see what's going on. Okay, looks like we got a kill top. Do we know anything about their jungler? He just showed bot. How much CS does he have? Do we know? Kind of what's the status on mid lane? We see our mid laner is quite low. So here you're kind of just using chat again to distract yourself from very important information, which is where should you deploy here, right? Your shot was perfect. You're looking at tab. Okay, nice. You're not looking at this mid lane though. Why is he pinging missing? It's because Mundo is there, right? Do we wanna camera pan there and see? Is this a possible? Because our Nivea is low here. See, he drops low. He's fighting. If you are quite close to mid lane now and you pan your camera, maybe you have a very good flank on this Vel'Koz. Maybe you can secure a quick kill. It's not really urgent to get back to bot lane here because this wave is pushing. What are you doing here? You're just taking free poke, right? This wave is crashing. There's no point for you to be here, and Jhin can safely farm this under turret. So here you're kind of just autopiloting. I would say beside the chatting, this is the biggest mistake so far. It's just autopilot deploying back to bot lane here instead of at least looking for a roam. And I think the best way to play here is to here, instead of right-clicking in bot lane, you just go through the middle gate that's between mid lane and bot lane, and then you walk through the jungle and you pan your camera mid and you see is it viable for me to go there and pressure? As we can see on tab here, none of them have backed. Anivia and Vel'Koz seem to be heavy trading if we're just looking at his mana and his health. So we don't really know, but it might be like a really good opportunity mid here that we're missing. And one thing is that it might be like he is full health and he has full control and there's nothing you can do, right? That might also be the case. Even still, there's no point for you to be here. So this is like a mistake for two reasons. One, you might be missing an opportunity. And two, you are right now doing nothing of value. Like being here does absolutely nothing positive for your team. You're just taking free poke. And I guess you're soaking 2 minions of EXP. So that's not nothing, but it's not very valuable. Okay, kind of sending it in this giant wave here. Not a big fan of this. It might work out, but this is like fighting in a wave like this is not something I'm a fan of at all. Actually, you see he is level 4 against your level 3, and he has full health. There's not really, we're not really achieving anything here. What we want is to just let this wave crash, or maybe you want to freeze it, but at least you should at least match his level 4 first. Of course, you see him level 3 here, but we know he has pushed out this wave, so he will get level 4 once this cannon dies. So you're kind of... you're in a really good spot here, right? So there's no need for you to take such a kind of risky and disadvantageous trade. Like this guy is in a really tough spot if you're freezing this wave and he needs to walk up. Like, how is he playing, right? You have your stacks. You're not using your stacks. Okay, you're of course using them on him, which I guess is good, but you could have used it to thin the wave. It's more gold, I guess, if you hit him, so maybe that's good. But because you're quite strong, the end result is not terrible. It's not a great trade, but it's not the worst either, because you are so strong that you kind of want to just fight regardless. So now I'm expecting some sort of situation where you're setting up, looks like Viego is coming in, you're setting up maybe a gank. Looks like there's not really anything to do here. This is very risky, what's going on now. Chasing this, okay. What is he doing? Okay, he's doing this, and then he's walking back in here. Okay, so he kind of, Nautilus kind of was out, and then he just griefed it. I don't know. Yeah, well, it's fine, right? It's whatever. He kind of, I feel like this is not ideal, right? He is showing too soon, and you're not really in position to follow up, and then Nautilus ends up walking back in, so it's pretty good for you. So overall, I mean, this is not likely to happen against very strong players, because they will not walk in and die again, I think, but at least you're capitalizing on that mistake by killing him, so that's good. Here I would be walking up to harass, because what is Aphelios doing now, right? He is basing somewhere in fog up here. I want to walk and cancel him, so let's see what you do. You're going here and you're recalling, and then you cancel your recall and you go for dragon, and then you cancel that to go back to this Aphelios, and you kind of walk back and forth while the dive is going on. Okay, so this is very messy here. I think here you need to be a little bit more clear about what you want to do. So we are here, right? Nautilus is dead. Now you need to think about what do I want to do here. And already here I want to cancel Aphelios' base, because we're crashing this wave and he's going to be denied 1 minion a second for like 10 seconds or 5 seconds. So you need to, you can play to deny this, and that what you do then is just walk up and zone him. You don't need to go on him, you just walk up and zone him, and Jhin walks behind you. If you hit your E on him, Jhin follows up with W, walks in, kills him. So he's kind of just forced to walk away and recall and lose all of this. So that's the most obvious. You can go here and recall. If you're gonna recall, there's no point going all the way here. Helping this dragon as Leona, I think you only want to do that if your presence is gonna help with a contest. Like, Viego doesn't need your DPS on the dragon, so there's no need to go and help him here unless you think, oh, maybe Mundo is around, maybe I need to defend. And if that's what you do think, then I would hit the Scryer's Bloom and look for him, not just walk towards the dragon. So I think this is a big distraction. So maybe the thing to keep in mind is just don't think about DPSing dragons. Just think about securing the dragon via supporting and contesting, or just let him do his thing, right? And then complete your recall or look to dive this guy. But here it's generally like decisiveness. That's the problem. Okay, we want to push this again. We're kind of really far behind on tempo now, because we sort of half-ass dive this guy, but not. So now Nautilus is back and Mundo can be here. There he is. He's in the river. Okay, kind of a messy dragon play. Here you're walking to contest. Now it makes sense to contest, right? Because Mundo is here, so you can help secure a kill. And what we want to do now, we're kind of in a really bad spot. You're typing as you're walking to lane, kind of risky. What if Nautilus comes around the corner now while you have chat up and hooks you, for example, right? It's really awkward if you have chat up in the middle of a fight. So I would say, again, this chat is really, my intuition that it was bad for you is really paying off here, because multiple times it's caused you to lose tempo or put yourself at risk unnecessarily. And I'm not a believer that whatever you're typing to these people is gonna actually increase your chance to win the game, even if what you're typing makes sense and it's good-natured, good, well-intentioned. I still think just League of Legends in-game is not a place for a strategic discussion about how the game should be played. Like what is your team gonna do? Are they gonna stop focusing on tracking enemies, stop focusing on their recall timers, stop focusing on everything they need to focus on to read your chat message, think about what you're saying, and then think about how to apply that and play differently? Like how is that actually gonna help anyone, right? Okay, here we're recalling. I don't really understand why they're giving you this recall. I guess Aphelios is low, so they're just kind of pushing out and then sacking the wave. Okay, sure. Feel like you're a bit lucky that you get to recall here, because Nautilus has a back over you and he's full health, and you are quite low, and your jungler is pathing top, right? So maybe some very skilled players, they will still play for the 2v2 here, Nautilus Aphelios, and this with you low mana and kind of no cooldowns, nothing, it may give you a chance. They give them a chance to come back here, or they could have faked back and catch the wave, but you get away with this, where you get to just shove the wave in and base. So this is nice. You see mid, he is dead, and you are walking mid through lane right now, trying to get to this fight. Get there in time. Gets a little bit messy here. He flashes on you. Not a great idea for him, I would say. You try to kite. I think when you stun him, you can just walk into tower here, right? He flashes, stun, just walk into tower here, no? Is he gonna chase you into this tower, into Anivia? I mean, he might. I understand you want to just walk away from him, right? And you're walking into minions to block his cleaver. So maybe it makes sense to play it like this. It seems to me that it might have been better. Of course, maybe you're not aware of Anivia, right? So if you know Anivia is coming here, then maybe you feel safer to walk toward the mid lane. But now you're kind of you end up walking just straight up away from him, and that gives him the opportunity to get out, because you're also helping him get into a better position, right? He's flashing down here. He's probably dead, but you're kind of providing him an escape here. So if you're gonna die, at least die as close to your tower as possible, so he doesn't have an escape. Looks like they will be able to clean him up anyway. No, actually he gets away here. Or no, okay. They do end up killing him. Okay, good. So not fully punished, but this easily you can see how this easily, just from your everything up to this point is good. Here, just your pathing actually almost lets this Mundo escape. So that's just something to be aware of. Of course, it's hard to play these fights perfectly and to think about everything, but still worth keeping in mind as a support. Sometimes you want to just walk in a way where if they're gonna kill you, they're gonna have to sacrifice their positioning to do it, and they will be easy to kill. No control ward, and here I would swap to Sweeper, even though your quest is not complete, because it's going to complete soon, and Sweeper is very important. And I would probably buy a control ward. I'm not a big control ward fan in general, but I think on support it's worth to buy at least one, and then just keep it for when you might need it. which might be to ward a brush in the middle of the fight, might be to secure an objective, might be to have vision control at a crucial point. But you seem to be actively not buying them, so I'm sure you have some reasoning for doing that. Let's see if we can find one more key mistake before we end this review. Okay, you want to push. The way you are pushing this, does it make sense? What do you actually want to do, or do you want to dive him? If you want to dive him, I think you can slow push. We see Nautilus on the map, right? So you want to do something, and you don't want to follow, so you just want to crash this and dive him now, I suppose. He's full health though, and you just have one wave to do it. Seems okay. Okay, nice. Nice. Gets a bit messy. And Jin ends up dying. Okay, yeah. I think this is a good dive. Maybe I would say just how you execute this, your setup for it, it's probably fine, right? I mean, maybe you can make it safer by either stacking a wave or by landing a little bit more poke on him. You don't use your W during this dive. Yeah, so that's like the first big thing, like why are we not clicking W here? Or here? Or here? Right? That's weird. And also, I don't think you're anticipating his flash. You're walking out of turret way too early right now. Just because you figure he's dead, right? It's like, oh, this guy's dead. I'll just walk out of turret because he will die now and then no one will take more hits. But he's not actually dead yet. So now you haven't tanked enough shots, and that means that Jin ends up dying. So, and you even write my bad bro. I would say, again, it's not... maybe it makes him relax a bit more, but I don't think it's worth having chat on to write that. Place ward and recall, no. You want to deny the freeze. So first of all, what's actually going on here? There's no freeze. Okay, this wave has already crashed. Why are we not recalling here? Okay, we want to place this ward before we recall. Fine. Now, why are we not recalling now? Because the wave is just slow pushing out. You want to fight Nautilus? Okay, not sure what we're achieving here. You did get 62 XP from 1 melee minion, so that's not nothing. But remember, if you recall, you just completed your quest. This is something to keep in mind, because it's quite important on support, right? You completed your quest here. So by the way, you could have had sweeper, right? Now your quest completes. Now you could have had sweeper. When your quest completes, you want to place that ward, and then you want to recall, so you get your wards ASAP, because that's of course one of the primary advantages of support, is you get this broken item that gives you wards all the time, and you want to utilize them ASAP. So I agree, diving this is good, but once I'm done with this, I want to recall to get my wards, so I can start kind of serving my purpose for the team of warding. So here, you could even say, here, just go in a bush and recall. There's nothing really more for you to do. Okay, you want to hit this plant because you're low, but you want to recall here. So hitting this plant is just a waste of tempo, unless you think, oh, I need to deny this plant for my enemy team. But I don't feel like you have a good reason to want to play like that either. You're just taking it because you're low. And you're writing my bad bro, that's where your focus is. Then you're placing this word. Still, I'm just, yeah. So this is again, I think, a huge waste of tempo. All of this. How much tempo do you waste? Let's find out. You can recall here. This is 830. Maybe you need to go in the bush. Okay, let's say 835. Okay, now you're out of vision. Let's recall. This is 30 seconds of tempo. If you do this on a jungler, by the way, the game is lost. If you, as a jungler, waste 30 seconds of tempo. So you're kind of getting away with craziness here. a little bit. You're still in base. Okay, you're pinging assist here. Now you're walking back and you still haven't recalled, so you still have no wards. Do you want to just fight them? 600 gold? Okay, I guess you can. You have no ult. There's a big wave. Like this is... And you're just clearing the wave. You don't want to freeze. Okay. Yeah, I think this is still... You're not really achieving anything on the map right now, but now your recall window has passed. Okay. We're fighting with 700 gold. It gets really messy. We don't have ult. There's a lot of people in the area. We see Mundo on the ward you placed here, right? Yeah, so I think this is just a complete mess here. Yeah, so all of this is caused from not recalling all the way back here after this dive happens to get your wards and to just spend your gold, right? You have 500 gold here. So the conclusion here is just don't miss this recall, right? And then don't fight without your ult, don't force fights in big waves. You can let this freeze. You can at least, even if you're not gonna freeze for long, you can at least pull this up. If you want to fight these guys, make them walk up first to your side of the lane, right? If you just pull the wave back, and now you're seeing them positioning, you're seeing it being pinged. So going in here, okay, no ult, no ignite, nothing. They have everything. This is just a mistake on most levels, and it could be very easily solved just by recalling earlier. So that's it for the review. Thank you for sending me your VOD, and I hope you get some good takeaways from this. All right, take care.